Good afternoon. Today is the 30th of May 2022. Welcome to Lunchtime News here on TV1 for the Newsfirst team, where the people come first. I'm Sanitha Senanayake. Before we take a look at the stories that we have for you this afternoon, let's take a look at the headlines.
One dead in shooting at Bastion mouth of Peta. Police opened fire into air to control tense situation in Balapitia. 3 arrested. Fuel shipment nearing Sri Lanka. Will the electricity tariffs increase? Lawyers do not represent the suspects involved in the Atalugama incident. Gujarat Titans wins the 2022 Indian Premier League.
Taking a look at a tragic incident that took place earlier today. A person died during a shooting in Bastion Road in Peta, while another was left injured. The deceased is a 30-year-old resident from Anuradhapura. Police say one person was killed in a deadly broad daylight shooting carried out by 2 unknown gunmen in Bastion Mawatha Peta this morning. The deceased was a 30-year-old man, a resident of Mahailuppalgama, Anuradhapura. Police said the victim had died upon admission to the Colombo National Hospital. According to a spokesperson from the Colombo National Hospital, the injured is a 27-year-old. Police said 2 masked men had arrived on a motorcycle and opened fire at 3 people standing at the private bus stand down Bastion Mawatha using a T-56 assault rifle. The motive for the murder is yet to be ascertained. Moving on, police say 3 people have been arrested on suspicion for attempting to assault police officers in the Balapitia area.
Police spokesperson SSP Nihal Thaldua said 3 people who were under the influence of alcohol were attacking vehicles on the road at around 10:30 p.m. yesterday. He said the suspects had attacked police officers who attempted to control the situation. SSP Nihal Thaldua said police had fired into the air to control the situation. 1 police officer and a suspect who were injured in the attack have been hospitalized.
Taking a look at a developing story, lawyers have agreed not to appear for the suspects involved in the murder of the 9-year-old girl in Atalugama, Bandaragama.
27th of May. Fatima Aisha goes missing. 4 police teams commenced investigations upon the information provided by the parents of the 9-year-old girl. 50 individuals have been questioned over the incident. 1 person arrested. Information regarding the suspects involved in the murder of the child is yet to be revealed. The Criminal Investigations Department is investigating the child's death. Lawyers have now come to an agreement not to represent the suspects involved in the death of a 9-year-old girl in Atalugama. A team of investigators of the Homicide and Organized Crime Investigations Division of the CID has been dispatched to the Atalugama area to conduct investigations. The National Child Protection Authority has also launched an investigation.
Newsfirst Ahmed Buzo is right now. He is at Atalugama. We will get an update from him later down in the bulletin. Moving on, although there is a reduction in fuel queues in Colombo, it is reported that long queues can still be seen in rural areas. The Ceylon Petroleum Corporation says that filling stations are provided with uninterrupted fuel supplies. However, fuel queues could be seen in various parts of the island.
Many filling stations in Kandy did not have fuel today. People remain in queues hoping for fuel to arrive at some point.
සෙඩ්වල තෙල් තියනවා කියලා මාධ්‍ය කියන විදිහට අපි පොලිමේ ඉන්නවා හැමදාම පොලිමේ තමයි දැන් මාස දෙකක් තිස්සේ පොලිමේ.
Many filling stations in Polonnaruwa did not have diesel today.
උස්සයිකලේ ආවේ දැන් මේ කිලෝමීටර් 12ක් විතර පැදගෙන ආව අමාරුයි ඉතින් අපේ බේත් ඉඳලා මේ දැන් මොනවත් නැහැ ආපහු හිත අතින් යනවා.
Long queues could be seen at filling stations in Badulla. Our Newsfirst correspondent says that many filling stations in the area did not have diesel. People have been remaining in queues in Kuliapitia all morning. The Sapugaskanda oil refinery that was shut down temporarily on the 20th of March restarted operations today. Although fuel queues have been shortening, the gas queues seem to be getting longer every day. The Litro Gas Company says a ship carrying 3,500 metric tons of gas is set to reach the country this evening. The gas ship imported from Oman is currently visible off the coast of Uzbekistan. Litro Gas expects to commence the unloading process today itself if favorable weather conditions prevail. Once the shipment is unloaded, a quality standard test must be conducted upon obtaining samples, and this could take around 10 hours. Accordingly, Litro Gas expressed confidence that it would be able to resume the distribution of domestic gas cylinders to the market by Wednesday.
In more local news, the Electricity Consumers Association says that the government is attempting a ploy to pass on the repercussions of the mistakes done by politicians onto the shoulders of the working class by increasing electricity charges in Sri Lanka.
මේ නොදන්න ලදරුවෙක් වගේ ඇමතිවරයෙක් ඇවිල්ලා මිල වැඩි කරන්න ඕනලු තුන්ගුණේ.
He is stating that the price of electricity must be increased by 3 to 4 times. The Ceylon Electricity Board profited 20 billion rupees in 2015. The Yahapalne government recorded a loss of 13 billion in 2016. Losses of 24 billion in 2017, a loss of 50 billion in 2018, and a loss of 100 billion in 2019, and a loss of 70 billion today. The secretaries to the ministry, the engineers union and the rulers must be held responsible for this. These are the power plants that have not been built yet. The Public Utilities Commission has requested the government over and over again to build these power plants. While farmers continue to demand organic fertilizer, the repercussions of the government's ad hoc decision to ban chemical fertilizer has affected the entire country. Farmlands are left abandoned island-wide even during the Yala season.
It has been more than a month since water was released to the fields under the purview of the Jamburevala agrarian movement in Alahera, Polonnaruwa. Even though water is supplied through the Murugahakanda reservoir, close to 200 acres of fields are covered in weeds as a result of the fertilizer shortage.
The Gotagogama protest site near the President's office marks its 52nd day today.
The crowd peacefully eases their tension by chanting. Music is also used as a tool to express themselves, as a means of not only expressing their dissatisfaction with the government, but also as a means of connecting with one another. Bob Marley followed a similar approach in the 70s against racial tensions with the slogan, "Get up, stand up," that provided the pathway to an entire revolution. The Gotagogama struggle is also following a similar approach.
Get up, stand up, in the morning, stand up for your right, in the night.
Popular Sri Lankan band Vayu added a sense of emotion to the Gotagogama struggle through their music last night. The people at Gotagogama have been protesting for 52 days, asking for a life worth living.
Is there a place for the sinner? We save all mankind.
Bob Marley used reggae music to bring together generations of people together to support their cause in the racial struggle in the 70s. The Gota struggle is doing the same today.
අපිට විශ්වාසයක් තියෙනවා මේ රට අපේ රට වෙනස් වෙනවාමයි කියන එක. ඒක අපි හැමතිස්සෙම හදවතින්ම ප්‍රාර්ථනා කරගමු.
A demonstration was held at the Gota protest site in Badulla today to mark the 50 days at the protest site outside President's office in Colombo. People who are not affiliated to any political party took part in the protest at the Badulla Gota. The people of this country have been protesting over the past few days, demanding Gotabaya to go home. Gotabaya Rajapaksa has now appointed Ranil Wickremesinghe, who does not have any mandate as the Prime Minister for protection. After attacking the peaceful protesters at Galface, they are now arresting them. Stop this immediately.
Gamantha, for the people, by the people.
As mentioned earlier, one person was killed and another was injured in a shooting down Bastion Road in Petta. We are now joined live by Newsfirst's Zulfiq Farzan, who is reporting from Petta.
Well, right now I'm standing here at the Bastion Mawatha private bus terminal, where just this morning two unidentified gunmen used a T-56 assault rifle to shoot at 3 people who were standing at a location right behind me that's been cordoned off by the police officers here, and especially the scene of crime officers as well. Now, one person died and one other person was injured. Now, according to police sources here, the 2 unidentified gunmen had come in a motorcycle and opened fire targeting the 3 people who were at this premises. Now, investigations are ongoing and the police has cordoned off this entire area in order to ascertain more information regarding the shooting. I'm Zulfiq Farzan for News First from Bastion Mawatha, Colombo.
Thank you, Zulfiq, for that comprehensive report. Moving on, Uva Provincial Councillor of the Janata Vimukti Peramuna, Samantha Vidyaratna, says that there is a hidden agenda behind the incident where ministers' homes were attacked. He made these remarks at an event in Badulla yesterday. The temple trees conspiracy is the same conspiracy that is behind these attacks. This is a double game by the government. Opposing views were formed against the attacks that were carried out in the morning. There were human rights violations, so the government put some thought into it. Even the Prime Minister had to resign. The government wanted to form a defense of its own. Ministers' houses were destroyed during curfew, while the police and the army just stood there and watched. Now the government is saying even their property was damaged. The truth is, they let this happen. A number of political parties responded to the Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe's proposal to set up 15 committees aimed at resolving the economic crisis.
The Prime Minister gave a special message yesterday. He said that he will even include members of the Aragalaya regarding certain matters. Is this a positive way of moving forward? I think it is extremely unrealistic to have all those committees in Parliament. The parliamentarians will find it difficult to operate Parliament if this is implemented. The current Prime Minister spoke about economic and political problems in the country. What are your thoughts regarding that? We agree to handing over the authority to control the funds as well as to overlook matters to the Parliament's Central Working Committee. We will support that.
Special meeting between President Gotabaya Rajapaksa and government faction MPs will be held today. According to General Secretary of the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna, Sagara Karyawasam, the meeting will be held at 5 p.m. at the President's office. Taking a look at that news item once more, a special meeting between President Gotabaya Rajapaksa and government faction MPs will be held today. According to the General Secretary of the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna, Sagara Karyawasam, the meeting will be held at 5 p.m. at the President's office. Moving on, people are seen waiting in a long queue at the Kurunegala Regional Office of the Immigration and Immigration Department. Our correspondent reported that the people who had arrived at the location from various areas are waiting by the office to obtain passports.
තෙල් බෝල නැද්දටි මිනිස්සු ඉන්න රට යන. ඔව්. මේ ලංකාවේ ඉන්න බැරි යන්නනේ. ඉතින් 5000ක් පටි ගන්න දවස්. ලංකාවේ ඉතින් රටවත් පොඩ්ඩක් ගිහිල්ලා බලන්න මොකද වෙන්නේ කියලා.
The Colombo Chief Magistrate postponed the consideration of bail application filed by Shashi Veeravansha, who is sentenced to 2 years of rigorous imprisonment. The Prisons Department produced defendant Shashi Veeravansha at the Colombo Magistrates Court today. Colombo Chief Magistrate Nandana Amarasinghe ordered that the Attorney General's stance on the bail application should be informed to court tomorrow. Shashi Veeravansha, the wife of former Minister Vimal Veeravansha, had filed an appeal challenging the 2-year prison sentence and the fine of 100,000 rupees imposed on her after she was found guilty of obtaining a diplomatic passport by submitting fake documents. Another phase of the Divisavya program to distribute dry rations among families in need is underway in the Mathura district today on its 20th day. The program is sponsored by LOLC Holdings.
The Divisavya program, sponsored by LOLC Holdings, aims to support low-income families in many parts of Sri Lanka. 2 teams distributed dry rations among many Gramanadar divisions in the Mathura district. Under the Divisavya program, essential goods are being distributed to low-income families who are facing serious financial difficulties.
As it was mentioned in the headlines, Hardik Pandya produced a magnificent all-round display as Gujarat Titans won the Indian Premier League in their first season with a 7-wicket victory over Rajasthan Royals.
Diabetesol සීනිවලින් පරිස්සම් වන ඔබට විශේෂයි. Diabetesol
විම්දියර මිලිලීටර් 100 ස්මාර්ට් පැක් එක රුපියල් 85ට දැන් වෙළඳ පොලේ.
අබාන්ස් මිල ගැන විශේෂ පුවතක්. අබාන්ස් TV මිල අඩු කළා. අදම අබාන්ස් LED TV එකකට මාරු වෙන්න. Diabetesol සීනිවලින් පරිස්සම් වන ඔබට විශේෂයි. Diabetesol
විම්දියර මිලිලීටර් 100 ස්මාර්ට් පැක් එක රුපියල් 85ට දැන් වෙළඳ පොලේ.
අබාන්ස් මිල ගැන විශේෂ පුවතක්. අබාන්ස් TV මිල අඩු කළා. අදම අබාන්ස් LED TV එකකට මාරු වෙන්න.
මැක්ස් ක්ලීන් එකක් දෙන විම් වෙතින් දැන් කැට 3 විම් මැක්ස් කැටේ රුපියල් 6ක මැක්ස් ඉතිරියක් එක්ක.
Diabetesol සීනිවලින්
of this edition of Lunchtime News here on TV1. For the Newsfirst team, where the people come first, I've been Senator Senanai. Take care and stay safe.